Hey guys, Mono here. Hell Loose got a new update, a patch to fix some of the issues introduced with update 14, and right away I will tell you this barely fixes anything. It's not a good patch. To start off, they reduced the acceleration for your running speed by 20% to make the movement feel more natural and to reduce zigzagging, so it's supposed to kick in during sharp turns, but it doesn't. You can still zigzag around and you can still outrun heavy tanks. So this change doesn't actually fix anything unless you're doing 90-degree turns while you're zigzagging, which nobody is doing. So zigzagging, still very much a thing. This doesn't actually address that issue, or at least not correctly. What they said in the Telegram, though, regarding this is beyond worrying, in my opinion. Here in the second paragraph, they say, "We understand that tanks require some revisiting, and we are investigating how this can be done while minimizing the risk to the wider game mechanics and ensuring players won't be able to outrun heavy tanks." So basically what they're saying, at least the way I understand it, is that rather than slow down the player sprint movement and return it back to what it was instead of this 15% increase that they introduced with update 14, is that maybe they will be making the tanks faster in order for them to outrun the infantry. And at this point, I'm wondering if they just straight up don't like the Hell Loose gameplay. If they just think it's too slow, they're gonna speed everything up, and that would be a gross misunderstanding of what people enjoy from this game. The slowness of the tanks in Hell Loose and the player movement in general is very deliberate. There's a reason for this. Refusing to go back and lower the running speed from 15% to maybe 5% and instead try and fix it by adding more gameplay mechanics such as this variable acceleration just introduces more and more problems, because movement speed is invariably tied in terms of gameplay with things like the timers for the garrisons and outposts, your respawn timers, the map design, the vehicle design, the bullet speed, the netcode. So maybe don't revert the running speed to what it was originally, just increase it by 5% instead of 15% and not have to deal with all these negative repercussions that come from such an extreme change. They also haven't really fixed the dolphin dive. Yes, it's a bit slower now to get up and dive again, but it's still too fast, so you can still do that. This patch doesn't actually fix it. Next up, we have the fixes to the British weapons, and again, not actually fixed. Terry pointed out this in his video, that the Sten gun, which used to shoot above your aim, now shoots considerably below it. He tested it at 100 meters, but even at 40 meters, there's a considerable difference between where you're shooting and where the shot is landing. You can see that in the footage here. I'm shooting at these lines on the truck and the shot is landing significantly below them. Then I'm shooting at the window edge. It's also landing way below. So though they fixed the sight on some of the weapons, the sway, they've decreased that. The sights on the Sten gun are still inaccurate. And also the sway is still present on some of the guns, like for example the Lewis gun. It just still has a lot of sway and doesn't behave like the weapons from the other factions. Will they revisit this? Who knows? I mean, are they gonna just say like we fixed it and that's it? Or are they actually gonna iterate on this and try and fix it again, I guess? Another supposed fix is that opening the map used to stop your interaction with something. So maybe if you were driving and you opened the map, that would stop you from driving. Now, only dismantling something will be stopped when opening the map. And that is another change from what I'm now gonna call original Hell Loose. You used to be able to open the map while dismantling a garrison. That was always the case. Now they are deliberately changing this, and the reason for it is an exploit that was present on console that allowed you to speed up your dismantling speed by opening the map or something like that. So instead of actually fixing that exploit, they are changing some of the gameplay. So what can I say? This is the third time that the new dev team has updated the game, and I consider it to be another failure. If anyone from Team 17 is watching this, just please stop. Stop changing the way the game plays because you're not making it better. You're making it worse. Do not change the tank speed to allow them to outrun your new infantry running speed. Change the infantry speed to what it was before because the players that need the infantry speed to be increased don't really understand this game and don't really understand how to use spawn points, so you don't have to run that much in the first place. The running speed, yes, it was slow, but it was the feel of the game and the game was great with it. So now some of the feel of the game that made it so great is gone, and it's just going to continue to fade away as you make more changes like these that most players didn't really want, and you continue to add problems by making these changes that require you to keep changing the game even more in order to fix those problems. At this point, I can see myself playing increasingly less Helldivers until update 15 drops, and then see what happens with that update and, you know, see if it's any good or it just keeps getting worse. It's still too early to tell, but looking at Steam charts, the Helldivers player base took a significant hit since update 14. Obviously, it should have been the other way around. There should have been an increase in the player base. So this drop here, we shouldn't be comparing that to stagnation and to just a constant player base. We should be comparing this to a growth. So declining obviously isn't very good. Again, still too early to tell, but there's some stiff competition from BattleBit and from other games, and I don't think the player base is happy at all with these changes recently to Helldivers. Basically every comment on my videos is about how they dislike the game and how they're not playing it anymore, and I think Team 17 is just running out of time to reverse this situation. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one.